Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Cat Mama Tarot and welcome to this timeless reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. Feel free to watch this for any Cancer placement in your chart, and I trust that this will find you at the right time, but use your discernment. And if none of the messages resonate, then come back and watch this at a later time or come back and watch another video, Cancer or otherwise. All right, Cancer, let's see what messages we have for you today. Ooh, there's the first one. Happiness. Oh, that's a nice way to start. Joy of life. Right on. Dance. Yeah, let your body move, Cancer. Well, this seems like a joyous reading so far. Dreaming. Be aware of your dreams. And at the bottom of the deck, we've got balance. All right, well, Cancer, I'm loving this. Starting with happiness, I mean, what else could you ask for here? The joy of life. So I'm hoping that this is reflecting where you are currently, because don't we all want to be in this place of happiness and feeling that joy of life, wanting to dance? Perhaps if you're not feeling in a place of happiness, joy of life, it seems that you are being called to move your body, because dancing could actually help you get into that space, help you find your happiness and help you find your joy. You also have dreaming here, so it's an important time to be aware of your dreams. I mean, sometimes it's hard to remember your dreams, or if you're not tracking your dreams, they can kind of dissipate into the ethers pretty quickly. But so this can also speak to the dreams that you're having while you're sleeping, and perhaps you want to start journaling and keeping, writing down your dreams. Or I like to use my phone and just kind of do a voice memo. It's a little easier than turning on the light and trying to write it all down. But I think this is also calling you to tune into what your dreams are. Like, what is it that you want for yourself? What is it that you envision for yourself, for your life, for your loved ones? What is your kind of dream of the future? And under the deck, we've got balance. So light and dark here. So I think, before I saw the little subtitle, light and dark, what I was thinking is that it's important to really balance kind of your current existence and trying to find joy in your current existence, while also keeping an eye on the future and where it is that you want to be going. So striking a balance between the now and kind of what direction you want to be moving in towards the future. But, I mean, it could also be speaking to a balance of the light and dark. And perhaps you're in this place of happiness and joy, or perhaps you're not in a place of happiness and joy. And so there's a need to balance out the dark with the light and kind of tapping into your dreams, trapping. I don't know why trapping. Like, trying to kind of pull yourself out of any mental trappings. Maybe that's why that came out. But yeah, and moving your body is a way to maybe create a little bit more balance. If you aren't feeling in a place of happiness and joy, right, you can kind of balance out, because there's a lot going on right now and a lot of people are facing difficult times. So if that's kind of where your headspace is and that's kind of a situation that you're finding yourself in, moving your body and kind of getting into your body, dancing or doing something else that really helps you get into your body, and kind of tuning into what it is you want for yourself and for your life and for your family, is a way to kind of create more balance between maybe difficulties and a difficult current situation and where you ultimately want to be in your life. All right, we've got, for the tarot here, we're starting with the Three of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the King of Swords. At the heart of your reading, we have the Five of Cups, the Page of Wands, the Hierophant, the Ten of Wands, and the Emperor. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Wands. All right. With the Five of Cups at the heart of your reading, I feel like the collective I'm reading for right now maybe is more in the latter camp that I was talking about. So the Five of Cups speaks to disappointment, regrets. It's ultimately focusing on kind of what went wrong or what disappointed you or what kinds of things just didn't work out the way you wanted them to work out, as opposed to kind of focusing on maybe your current situation or on what it is that you want, right? So oftentimes the Five of Cups is depicted as somebody looking downward at 3 cups of wine that have spilled over. And so all they can focus on is the loss. Behind them are 2 cups upright. And the Two of Cups refers to the Two of Cups. So love, things that you love, people that you love, opportunities for love, moving, being in your heart space. And there's a bridge beyond that. So really kind of getting into that place of love and things that you love and focusing on what could be, right, based on being in your heart, can actually be that bridge to a different state of mind, a different point of view, a different perspective, a different situation. So I think that second message that I was talking about may be kind of more relevant for this particular collective. So there's a need to get into a place where, so here are those 3 cups, but they're upright here, right? So the 3 of Cups actually can speak to tapping into like the support of friends or community or loved ones. It can speak to kind of being in the moment and seizing the opportunities before you, right? If we're in a place of disappointment and kind of focused on the past, there may be opportunities before us that we're not taking advantage of, right? Because we're not seeing them. We're seeing the cups that have fallen down. We're not seeing these upright cups, even though this is 3 and not 2. You know what I'm saying. We also have the Queen of Pentacles here. The Queen of Pentacles is somebody who is very grounded, very nurturing, very loving. She is very in tune with the earth, and she is very patient. So you're being asked to embody the Queen of Pentacles right now, Cancer. You're being asked to really get into a place where you are grounding yourself, you are getting into your heart space, you're just really being nurturing with yourself and others, and really trusting that the Queen of Pentacles is super abundant, right? She can have anything that she desires, and she's well aware of that, and she trusts that, she knows it. So that's another thing that you're being asked to do, is to really trust and know that you really can have anything, you can create anything that you desire, right? But there's patience involved, there's grounding involved, and there's really like nurturing yourself and potentially others as you go through this process. Because you've got the Nine of Cups next. And the Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. So by tapping into any support that is available to you, right? Like supportive friends, supportive loved ones, taking advantage of opportunities that come before you, being patient, being nurturing, being grounded, trusting yourself, trusting the universe. This is the path to wish fulfillment, right? This is the path to your dreams coming true, right? And in order for our dreams to come true, it's really important for us to get in touch with what is wish fulfillment for us? Like, what does wish fulfillment look like? But more importantly, what does wish fulfillment feel like? The more you can tap into that feeling, the more you can actually magnetize that to yourself, right? The more you can move towards wish fulfillment. It does help to have ideas of what that involves as well. And that speaks to the King of Swords. The King of Swords is the master of the mental and the mental realm. Master of information, master of communication, master of logic and thought. He sees the bigger picture. He kind of takes the higher perspective on things, and he is excellent at making logical, rational decisions. He's also an excellent communicator. Recently, I heard an interpretation of this card that I also love, and especially this, when you look at this version, I feel like it speaks to the need to tap into our higher self and trust our higher self and the guidance that we receive from our higher self. And your higher self could be leading you towards some new passion project here, something new that you're embarking on, or that you can embark on or will embark on, that is really exciting you. There's like a spark of inspiration here that you're following, right? There's something creative, something inspiring, something that you're passionate about, that you're at the beginning of, or that you could be starting soon, right? And it's kind of that tuning into that like idea of like, what is it that I want? What are my dreams? What am I passionate about, right? You have the Knight of Wands at the bottom of the deck here. So what is lighting your fire? What is it that you really want to go for? You know, you have the opportunity to get started with whatever it is that lights your fire here. The five, I keep focusing on the 5, and I want to speak to that. You do have the 5 of Cups at the heart of your reading, and I think I'm focusing on the 5 here because 5 signify changes. So you're going through some kind of change, or you have an opportunity to go through, to change something in your life right now, Cancer. And so it's important for you to really recognize that this is a prime opportunity for making the kinds of changes in your life, or maybe a change in your life that's really going to be something that benefits you, something that you love, something that is driven by your passion here with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Cups, it could lead to wish fulfillment. And you're being guided by your higher self, as I mentioned. And that brings us to the Hierophant. The Hierophant, people interpret it in different ways. The way I see the Hierophant is that it speaks to your direct connection to spirit, your direct ability to tap into wisdom, your inner wisdom, right? It's reminding you of the inner wisdom that you have. You have experienced different things in your life. You have learned different things in your life. You have gained knowledge. You have the knowledge that you can apply to your life now and in the future. This is your inner wisdom. So you're being called to tap into that inner wisdom, right? To tune into your higher self, the guidance of your higher self, to step back and look at the bigger picture of things as part of that process. Because this is going to enable you to release some kind of burden that you've been carrying. The 10 of Wands signifies a feeling of burden, a feeling of overwhelm, but it is a 10. So it is really the end of that, right? The burden has become too great to continue to carry. So it's time to set something down. Maybe it's responsibilities. Maybe you've taken on more responsibilities than really are yours to carry. And it's time to delegate, or it's time to just say, well, I don't need to do this anymore, right? Whatever it is for you, you have an opportunity right now to unburden yourself and to step into your power. Now, this is not, when I look at this Emperor, I'm not like, well, I want to be that guy, right? So I feel like this Emperor comes with a few messages. Let me start with kind of the typical message of kind of the enlightened or kind of the ideal or optimal version of the Emperor. This Emperor, not this Emperor, but the one I'm talking about, is one who leads from a place of balance, who recognizes the value and importance of not only the Emperor, but also the Empress in terms of being in power, being in a leadership role, leading our own lives, fill in the blank, whatever applies to your current situation. So there's a encouragement really to step into your power and to do so from a balanced place, meaning that you are balancing both the divine masculine and the divine feminine. You are being open, creative, nurturing, loving, receptive, allowing, while also being proactive, doing, building. So striking that balance between those two energies is really the sweet spot of leadership and empowerment. Okay, what I get from this particular version of the Emperor is that there may be a need to bring in more of the divine feminine, because this version feels like he's leaning more towards the divine masculine, and maybe there's a little bit of an imbalance towards the masculine side of things. Meaning that maybe you'd like, being right next to the Ten of Wands, maybe you don't have to be doing so much, right? Maybe you don't have to be taking on so much. Maybe there's a need to set some things down and open up and relax and allow and receive, right? Maybe receiving some some support, some help, right? Maybe you don't have to be taking on everything that you're taking on right now, right? You don't have to be doing, like an overabundance of masculine energy, right? So that's one message that I get from this. The other message that I get from this, which is kind of an atypical message from an Emperor, but this guy looks a bit bloated. He looks like he's been a bit overindulgent. And so for some, there could be a message here to just be wary of overindulging in things, right? And that could be anything. That could be overindulging in sugar, or it could be overindulging in alcohol. It could be because he's also got those red cheeks. It could be overindulging in power, right? Like trying to exert too much power over things or too much control over things. So take whatever resonates for you, but overindulgence, kind of moving away from overindulgence could be another message of this particular Emperor here. All right, and I'm just being drawn back to this dance card here. So really important, Cancer, to let your body move right now, to move your body, to get into your body, and be it through actual dancing or yoga or something somatic. I think is really going to be helping you create more balance in your life and help you tap into that inspiration and begin anew here. All right, Cancer, that's what I've got for you today. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you choosing to spend your time with me, and I'm sending you lots of love. Take really good care of yourself, and I will see you next time. Bye.